Hey, welcome to the studio. I'm Jade, and this year I'm challenging myself to do something I've never done before. You see, I've always loved creative hobbies, but I've never been very good at them. So I decided to pursue polymer clay as a creative outlet to see just how good I can get if I keep working at it. I chose polymer clay because it's approachable for beginners and surprisingly versatile. I'm going to be documenting my journey on this channel, which is also something I've never done before. So, two birds, one stone, right? I'll be exploring all the ways to use polymer clay, testing out different techniques and finding what I enjoy the most. My goal is to share what I learn, both the successes and the inevitable mishaps, and hopefully inspire you to dive into this craft too. In today's video, I'm easing into it by making the easiest thing I can think of: coasters. I'm going to be using 3 different techniques that don't require any experience or special tools. So if you're curious about polymer clay, grab a steaming brew and a ball of clay, and let's make something beautiful together. I didn't really put much research into this technique because to me it seemed quite self-explanatory. You tear off a few pieces of rolled out clay and arrange them randomly on your slab. At least I think that's what you're supposed to do. Let me know in the comments if there's a trick to it. The clay I'm using is from a starter pack by Mont. For anyone who wants to know, I opted for a cheaper clay because I'm not that bothered about quality at the moment. It's just for me to learn the basics. It's still good clay and really easy to work with. I do want to try more professional brands like Sculpey and Fimo in future, but I'll have to order Sculpey online. It's quite a hard brand to find here in South Africa. It's coming along quite nicely, I think. I really like the colors. Now we just give it a good roll to merge all the clay together, and voila! We have a Terrazzo slab. I think. Again, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks good to me. I didn't have a circle cookie cutter at hand, so I just use a glass to cut out the shape. The only problem is that the glass has a thick rim, and as you can imagine, it's quite dull. So I have to use a crafter's blade to finish the job. Good thing I have a steady hand. I'm using rubbing alcohol to clean off any lint or dust and to smooth out the rough edges. One thing I've noticed with polymer clay is that no matter how clean your work area is, there always seems to be a stray lint or two lurking about. I think my cutting skills are pretty good, but just to make sure, I'm tidying up with a smoothing tool to finish off the look. All done. Now off to the oven she goes. I don't like letting clay go to waste, so I'm reusing the leftover clay from the Terrazzo slab in this design. That way I can keep everything cohesive. It's a win-win situation. a lot of different ways you can achieve the marble look. The easiest way for me is to roll out all the colors in canes and merge them together as one bigger cane. That way, your color streaks will show lengthwise, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, just keep watching the video and it will make sense soon. So the way you get the marble effect is to twist your clay and rub it between your hands to roll it out lengthwise. I like to fold it in half to make it more manageable. It doesn't affect the pattern that much. In fact, I find it spreads it out more evenly. Give it a good twist every now and again and keep repeating those motions until you have the consistency you like. Okay, this is where the magic happens. We finally get to see what the actual marbling will look like when we roll it out. Ooh, I love that. It reminds me of a sunset at the beach for some reason. What's great is you can choose either side as the face of the coaster, whichever is your favorite. The hardest part about this design is choosing the perfect placement to cut out the coasters. I feel like every place is a good place, so I'm just going with whichever one the cup falls on. For the rainbow design, I'm adding in clay that I used to figure out how to do the marbling technique. It's a little overmixed, but I like the organic look. I like to use my acrylic roller to roll out my canes. I use a light pressure to make the cane longer. That just ensures I get an even thickness. A little life hack that I picked up in the short time that I've been working with polymer clay. I'm using my other coasters as a size guide for the rainbows. They should be roughly the same size, but I don't mind if they're not exact. It's more of an organic shape, so whichever way it comes out, as long as it's big enough to actually hold a cup or a mug. These rainbow coasters came out better than I expected. They might just be my favorite design. It's such a whimsical look. A tip that I learned when baking polymer clay on a glass surface is to spray it down with rubbing alcohol first. That way, your clay won't pick up any residue or stick to the glass when you're trying to take it off. I've had a few mishaps where half of my clay ended up on the glass instead of on the actual design. To finish off my circle coasters, I'm giving them a coat of UV resin to protect their surface and to make them pop. A little safety tip about UV resin: if you want to try your hand at it, make sure you're wearing gloves and a mask because it can irritate your skin and your airways. I always crack open the window to make sure I'm working in a well-ventilated area. The resin I'm using is self-degassing, so I don't need to use a heat source to get the bubbles out, but I like to pop them with a brush or a toothpick, just in case. I have this cute little UV torch that I like to use to set the resin. A cool thing that I want to do this year is to put all my little clay offcuts in this jar and see how far I can fill it up by the end of the year. I think it's a fun way to commemorate my progress. I'm pretty happy with the way these coasters came out. They were so easy to make and I had fun with the process. And now I have fun coasters that I can actually use. I'm really excited about this journey and I can't wait to see what this year brings. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a little like. And if you want to come along on the road with me, subscribe to get notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.